Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to do a review of tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 that all focus on the S-Pen. Let's go ahead and get right to it. So guys, I had done a whole series of videos for you all around the Note 9, but was sick over the last couple weeks. Got the cold, but then my voice just really never recovered. So this is actually the first week where I can actually sound like myself. And if you notice some of the recordings, my voice was kind of coming and going. So what I wanted to do is catch up on all the wonderful things that the Note 9 brings and that you may not be taking advantage of. So we're going to look at the S Pen. We're going to look at new features first. So for those of you who are experienced Note users, we're going to look at the first stuff, new. Then we're going to go into existing features. So, and I'll also put an index in the comment area so you can jump to the things that you're interested in, and then the things that you're not, you can just skip. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available. Now, if you've been a long Note 9 user, or actually Note user, you've probably been a very, very loyal user. Now, I have to say that of my friends that have the Note, they are the most loyal to the brand of any brand that I have actually seen. And that's because of the stylus. Now, the stylus that you have here at the very bottom, and to extract it, all you do is press, and then a little tip comes out, and then you extract, is really, really a powerful tool for those of you who use this. I primarily use this as a business person to take notes, to keep track of things. I'm a writer, and I really enjoy that process on the phone. I also have a lot of friends that use it personally as well, that they swear by being able to use the pen for various things in their lives. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the features and things that are new about the S Pen because it has been improved. And the very first thing I wanted to talk to you about was the Bluetooth type capabilities it has. This is a low voltage Bluetooth solution that, by simply having it plugged into your phone, charges the actual stylus to be Bluetooth enabled for up to 30 minutes. And just by having it plugged in just for a couple seconds, stored, it recharges within minutes to give you an incredible battery life of around 30 minutes as well. So the feature set that has come from this is that having the Bluetooth capability gives you the ability to use this as a shutter button for your camera. So literally what I can do is I can press this button here twice, and when I press it twice, it is going to open up the camera. So let's go ahead and do that. So now let's go ahead and do that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold this button, and what it's going to do is it's going to launch the camera. So you can see how the camera's there, right? So I can press once, and it takes a picture. If I press twice, what's going to happen is it's going to switch. It's going to switch to this top camera. So watch what's going to happen. I'm going to do it twice, and you'll notice that now it's switched into selfie mode. And then if I press the camera button once, it's going to take the picture. If I press twice, it's going to switch to, again, the front-facing view. And I have to tell you that I'm not a big selfie person. I do take a lot of photography with the actual phone, and I have to say it's a phenomenal camera. And I'm going to show you some of the pictures that I've taken in New York, in San Francisco. New York, as I was covering the actual event for the Note 9, and then pictures that I've taken with the Note 9 in San Francisco as well. So having this as a shutter button does improve the quality of your selfies because you're not trying to reach for the button. Also, you don't need to have a timer. I've also used my phone to take pictures and putting it on a tripod, and had a timer and had a rush to get where I wanted to get the picture. Now I can just use this, press it once, and it gives me the ability to just take that photo. So what we're going to do now is, that's the primary function that you can do. Take pictures with this, but there's also business functions. So let's take a look at some of those functions. So now if you swipe down, and in my case it's over here, press and hold on the S Pen remote, you're going to see the new features that come with the S Pen. Notice that the battery level is set at 100, and what we're going to do is, just for the sake of this video, we're going to keep the pen out so you can see, as I'm recording this video, how much of the battery is being used. Now you'll notice that the function that I have right now is hold down the pen to open the camera. Well, you can configure this to do whatever you want, because the reality is that we know that there's a lot of people out there like me who don't really use your S Pen for your camera. You may use it for other things. So what you could do is you can actually enable an S Pen feature, you can enable a suggested app, or what you could do is any app, right? So if you want an audiobook to open, you can do that. Anything that you want can be configured. So at first, and as I was talking to friends and family and we talked about the new pen features, I got like the meh, that's not, anything out of this world for me. But then as I showed them the fact that they can configure it, they go like, now that's important. I have friends that are estimators. I have friends that are contractors. I have friends that use the pen a lot, and they said if I can open up OneNote, if I can open up the application that I use for notifications, then I think that that's a popular thing. So you can configure that by changing that setting. Now you have some more settings here that you can work with. You can have the camera take a single picture by pressing and holding that button, but you also have some other options. You can say switch camera, you can record video or do nothing. So yeah, so if you're a realtor, for example, this is great for taking pictures, but if you want to record, you can actually say, instead of taking a picture, I want it to record, or you can say, instead of switching, I want it to do the recording. Again, think about being able to, if you're a blogger and you want to be able to run a one-person show, you can actually use this to go 3, 2, 1 and start your recording and not have to be on the other side of your camera. You also can do this for the gallery. You notice for the gallery you have the ability to go next item, previous item, fast forward, and next. You could also use it for a double press to go to the previous item, as you can see here, and we're going to see some of these functions in a second. Voice recorder capabilities, record, pause, or do nothing, and again you can configure it. Shutter for a single press. Media as well, play, pause, and then there's other things you can do, skip or do nothing. So you need to come in here and see how this works. You do have the ability to have functions in home office. I use this for PowerPoint, right? Very powerful. In some cases, I would say, depending on the laptop, your Note has a faster processor, more memory, and more speed than a laptop. So here you have the ability to control your presentations, and also you have Snapchat. All right, so this is a picture that I took with the Note 9 in New York, and this was during the Samsung Impact event. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Now notice that the tips area comes up over here and it's telling me that if I press this, I go to the next item. If I double press, it goes to the previous item. So I'm going to go ahead and hit 2 times, double press, and here we are taking a picture. And again, this was at the actual Unpacked event. So Nilda and I are sporting our EBPMAN polos. Again, and if I do a single press, it's going to go back to this photo here. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the overall quality. How fantastic. Now this I used a blue filter. That's available on the phone. It's like an antique to get this kind of look. I actually have this coming up in a fracture photo, and people who see it, they're just amazed at the overall quality, and they think that it was something that I actually bought, but this is actually something that I took, then I bought a frame for. So absolutely fantastic look and feel. All right, so then let's look at, again, some of the features that you have here. So just wanted to show you some of the photos I took. And this is purposely done, so this isn't a mistake. Just showing the overall quality. You see Nilda sporting in her hand the S9 Plus. I'm taking photos with the Note 9. Nice bokeh effect over here. Let's go to the next one. You can see again, focus and in focus. Fantastic quality from the camera. See another look. And each one of these have a different perspective when it comes to focal point. It may not be something that you'll notice really quick right off, but here you'll notice how it's in focus, and here you can see this part in focus. And I eventually even switched the focus in different areas as we are in New York City. So definitely a cool tool to use. Really takes the way of how you take photography away from having to think about where you're pressing, because you can frame your subject more, not focus so much on tapping the screen, and then just push the button to take your picture. All right, so now this part of the video is going to be all about the traditional features of the Note. So let's go ahead and first of all power down the phone. And this is probably my most favorite feature of the Note, and that is being able to take notes with the screen off. So here you see the screen is off. You have some functions up here, but one thing that many of my friends forget to look at is this right here. So what I can do is say, let's go ahead and write these are Note 9 tips, right? And as I'm writing, I'm actually hearing some sound. I get like this shushing type effect. You know how when you write on paper, how you can hear the dragging of the lead on the paper? Well, you get that kind of effect with this. And because I have the blue version, the ink is blue. My black Note, it's white. My wife's lilac version is lilac. And you could either go with that color, you can turn that off. But the piece that most of my friends forget is that they write right here and then they save it. And then they just go on to another note. But what you can do is tap this arrow right here to scroll down and then continue to write. And not have to go to a different note. So you can continue to move up or down and have notes. Now also you have the erase. And then the other thing that I find troubling is after I've written my note, I just close it. Then I have to go into the note program to find it when I can actually just press this thumbnail, the tack button, and then it's just there when I go into my phone in the normal way. So I write a note, I tap on this thumbnail or it's kind of like a push pin, and then it will be on my desktop when I start up my phone. Now the next tip with your S-Pen has to do with the air command area. Now this is traditional stuff, so guys, so if you've used the note for a long time, that's it for the new stuff. Even what I just showed you is existing, just something that people forgot. Here I just wanted to show you some of the features that we have here. Some of them are old, some of them are new, but not incredibly useful. I do want to talk about OneNote because OneNote is something that many people don't use, and I find that this is one of the best handwriting applications on the market that goes across several devices and synchronizes simultaneously. And I literally have this on all my devices, all my phones, and at any time I can go to any note I like. So let's start talking about what's going on here. So here you can create a note, here you can view your note, but then you have this function that's called Smart Select. And what Smart Select is going to allow you to do is just select an area of your screen, and then you can extract the text if you want. You can do an auto selection, you can pin it to the screen like we talked about on the other side, you can share it, you can use Bixby Vision to interpret it. So let's say for example you're looking at a sign and it's in a different language, you can use Bixby Vision there. You can set it as a wallpaper, you can save it, share it, or draw on it. So if I want to draw on it, I can draw on it. I can change the color of the ink right here. I have a full thing here. I can undo, right? I can erase. Lots of flexibility when it comes here, and you can also even crop the image that you already have. Now the next thing right here is Screen Write. And Screen Write works like Smart Select, but it basically touches the entire screen. So if you want to be able to just copy the entire screen, this is the best way, especially if you want to give someone instructions to get to your house. You can actually get a Google map and then point something out and say, hey, this is what it is. Or, for example, this happens to me all the time. There's something that my wife wants. I don't know what it is or where it is in the grocery store. She'll take the can, take a picture of it, and then she writes on it how many cans I want or she wants, and then I'll just go ahead and get it. You also then have Live Message. And Live Message is a pretty cool function. You notice I've been playing with it quite a bit here, so we're going to undo this. But this gives you the ability to really do some fun things. So this is a rainbow effect. So as I'm writing, the ink changes color. And then what you can do is you can press play, and when the person gets it, they're going to see it this way. There are other functions here. So I can go from rainbow effect. Let's go ahead and change the format. You could do a normal GIF, high quality GIF, or an MP4. Let's choose done. So it's going to compile what I had, which is nothing, and we're going to start one from scratch. All right. So here you have multiple tips that you can work on. So you have ink. So you have the ink version. And then what that will do is it will remember your ink, and you can send this. It's kind of like a fun feature. I wouldn't say that it's a super duper critical feature, but it's something that was there. You do have the glow effect, so I can write right here, and you notice it has kind of a glow, and you can change the color if that's something that you like. You can go over here and have the, which one is this one? I think this was the sparkle, yeah. So this, as you write, things can sparkle, and then again, when you send it to someone, you could go ahead and do that. You can say, and then you can say, love you. And then when you send it to them, woo. All right, so you have something like that. We'll go ahead and get back from there. You have this one right here, which is hearts. All right, so that could be something you can do too as a text. It's just fun stuff in this case. Not really much of a business application. Again, let's see, this is what you have here as well. We'll go back. And what was this one called? This one's called snowflakes, hearts, and then we had the sparkle. Last one is the rainbow. So this is not a new feature, but it's something you can do just to snazz up a text message if you'd like. Now, the next feature has to do with translation. And the cool thing about translation is that you can translate things from multiple languages. I always get the question, how many languages do you have? So here are all the languages that are available, right? So a wide variety of languages that you can translate from one language to another. And how I use this primarily is when I'm going to a website, if I'm in a foreign country, or doing there's something on the screen that I want to convert, and just seeing how that happens. So let's go to a website and see how this works. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure you can see this really well. I'm zoomed into the page, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pointer over the word, and it tells me the word and the translation. And what I could do is I can actually listen to it by playing it, or just continue to highlight certain things, and then it's going to just convert each one of these as it highlights it to the English version, because that's the language that I chose to convert to. So again, great to be able to get all this detail and being able to convert all the content that I see on the screen just by hovering over it. All right, so now the next function that and glance is an interesting function. I know some people are saying that they really don't know how they would use it, but let me go ahead. Sorry about hitting the mic that way. Let me try it so you can see. We're going to go ahead and tap that. And now what you'll notice is here Google Play has disappeared. So glance gives you the ability to work on something, set something as a glanceable item to go back to it for reference. I don't know why I would use this, because I like the multi-window function better, but once I am somewhere else on the screen, it goes away. So you see how I move my pointer? So here's my pointer up here. As soon as I go to it, let me zoom out so you can see that one more time. So now it's here at the very bottom. It comes up. I move my pointer up here, it goes away. Don't see a good application for it. If you think you can use it or you use it, tell me how you use it, because I just don't see that I would use it. So we're going to throw that in the garbage. All right, so now the next feature I want to talk about, and this is an app that you can add, is OneNote. So we're going to talk about OneNote and why you should consider it. So OneNote gives you the ability to store notes, obviously. So here, for example, is a section that I've created where it is talking about product reviews. And if I tap on it, these are all the notes. So here I have my S-Pen tips and tricks. And when I come in here, I have what I'm going to do. So I am reviewing all of the S-Pen configurations, show the camera features, which we've done, and then show the actual shortcuts that we're looking at. The neat thing about this is that it works very well. So let me show you. This is the pen features. You can try to write neater and stay on the line like I have, and it's going to stay there. And if you're creating a new note, you can create a note that's just a picture. You can create a voice recording, but it's only a couple minutes. You can start with notes, or you can create a to-do list. Very functional. And again, every single device. When I take a note here, it shows up on my PC, it shows up on my tablet, and it's cross-device compatible. So it's iOS, Windows, and then Android as well. Now the last feature I wanted to show you is about adding shortcuts, but let's go into the settings area for a second. So in the settings area, you can basically have a lot of things. You can unlock your phone with the S-Pen remote if you want, screen memo off, enable or disable air view, pen, direct pen input. You can use this to type in fields, so you can write on your note instead of text messaging. I find writing is a lot faster, so I don't use that, and not bothering with that either. Pointer, so you can use it as a pointer. When you hover over areas, shortcuts, as you can see here, that you can set up. That's what's happening here. These are your shortcuts. S-Pen, when it's removed, open air command, what happens? On alarm, so that if you do walk away, you know that you did. I have that on. Power saver, it says save battery by not trying to detect if your pen is in your phone. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to turn that on. I want to know if it's not. Sound, and then vibration. So when you pull it out, you get a sound or a vibration when you insert and remove the S-Pen. I like it because it confirms that it's in there. So we're going to get out of this, and then we're going to go back here. And then what we can do is look at adding shortcuts. So when you click Add Shortcut, the shortcut is not just a pen-enabled function. So these are the S-Pen enabled functions. And you can see all your applications here, and you can remove them or add. But it literally is any application that you want that you have on your phone can be added. So a great way to just add something to the screen, and if you want to remove it, you just hit the minus. All right, guys, so that was my video review of tips and tricks for the S-Pen for the Note 9. I once again apologize for the delay. I've been a little sick, and I wanted to make sure that you had the best audio quality possible. See you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to have an ultimate list of lots of things that you can do with the Note 9, some new features that you may not have been aware of depending on how older your phone was, and then also we'll show you some things that you may have already known of or forgotten of in that tips and tricks video. Make sure you subscribe, and see you in the next one.